Hi, welcome to Chat with Dr. Kat. I'm Dr. Kat. Nice to see you today. We are going to be talking about in the wild today. A couple of other things that you have sent in to me via email. Remember, chatwithdrkat.com. You can let me know anonymously, or you can put in your information. Please have those coming in. They're so great. All the different topics, and usually what I try to do is I try to bring in the ones that I get multiples of, and then I will definitely reach everybody as we go along. So as always, no fluff, no judgment, just real talk that leads to real change. So the first thing we're going to talk about, and it kind of seems like this, I got a lot of these that tend to lead more to the male side. So bear with me. Let's go through a couple of these. So the first one is spitting in public. I gotta say, I agree. I don't think it's also just a man thing. I see women that spit. I don't know. All I can tell you is when I see it, it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me feel any sort of way, except for I just want to move out of the way. I do get a little funny feeling when I see it, and I think a lot of people see it. Here's what it comes down to, and here is the overwhelming theme that I tend to talk about, and that is kindness. When you see somebody walking down the street, and for some reason you have to spit, maybe go off to the side. Maybe there's a trash can. Maybe you have a Kleenex with you. Something that makes you stop and think somebody else is there. Because there have been many times where I've been walking and someone has spit and I've literally jumped out of the way. Be kind. Be respectful. I know that sometimes people do have to spit. Sometimes I also think it's a habit. I think a habit that's been developed. I think it is mainly in men, but like I said, I do see it in women as well. So maybe some dads out there, if you have your boys, think about what people think when they're seeing the spitting. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is that something that you necessarily want your child to be doing? Anyway, that's spitting. Another one that I got in quite a bit is manspreading. So manspreading, for those of you that don't know what manspreading is when a man sits down on a chair, on a bus, traveling somewhere, and they tend to spread their legs out pretty wide. So what does that do? We all know why they're spreading their legs. It's for comfort. Also, I think habit. As you know, when some people spread them way out there. What's going on with the people next to you? Is their space getting smaller and smaller because of the man spreading? I would say yes. Be considerate of other people. I know that it's a habit, and I know it's definitely for comfort, but oftentimes it also sends the message that it's your comfort that is important and no one else's. Oftentimes I see, if you're traveling somewhere and you have to sit next to somebody who is manspreading, I do. I see people shifting, they're moving. Women are then crossing their legs. Sometimes they're putting their legs together, closer together to create at least some space for themselves. I just think here's a good rule of thumb. When you're sitting in a chair, there usually is a boundary on that chair, the base of the chair. And if your legs are completely spreading out off to the side to the other person's chair, you're infringing on their space. I would say be kind and be courteous. See where you can maybe shift your body a little bit, maybe not spread as much, but sending the message that your comfort is not the only comfort that is important. Now here's the flip side. I do know that you are probably not aware that you're doing it as much as you are. It is a habit. It's something that has become habitual. It's something that you always do. But I do think you need to stop and think, What am I doing with the people around me? The other one, I'm going to lead right into that, is if you are on a plane, a train, somewhere traveling, and there's armrests, okay? And who gets the armrest? You know, there's always this struggle. I always think it's great if somebody would put their elbows maybe in front of the armrest while the other people could put their arms in the back of the armrest. Look, I'm all about communication. I don't think there's anything wrong to say to the person, you know, I'm going to put my elbow in the back. Would you like to put your elbow in the front, or vice versa? That way we can both share. Sometimes it naturally occurs. But be mindful. Be mindful of the other person that is sitting next to you. Because sometimes it has happened where someone has sat down, arms are straight out, total disregard for anyone else. We all want to be comfortable. And sometimes we're not in the most comfortable positions, and it would be nice to think of other people. So come up with a plan. Maybe be bold. Maybe it strikes up a conversation, or maybe you don't want it to strike up a conversation, and that's okay too. That's just an extra set of boundaries that you can use. Or just kind of work your way in a little bit. Either way, be kind and considerate. Okay. I have this other one that I wanted to talk to you about because it does keep coming up in suggestions. I'm not going to get into the controversial part about it at all. At all. This is not the controversial who has a right to be in what bathroom or not. That is not what I'm going to discuss at all today. But what I am going to discuss is what happens with an all-gender bathroom. Again, not about who should be in there, who should not be in there, none of that. It really is about being considerate. I'm going to give you an example. I went to this restaurant locally by where I live, and they have an all-gender restroom. So it's all these individual stalls, and then they have these little tiny sinks in the bathroom stall as well. But when you come in, everybody's just waiting for the bathroom. So I was first in line with this group, and there happened to be two other men behind me. The door opened up, and it was a man that came out. Mind you, I'm wearing pants. And he opens the door, and I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it was somebody else before, but the seat wasn't clean, and nor was the floor around it. So I looked in, I stopped, and I'm like, I'm not going in that one. And the man behind me says, oh, may I go? And I said, of course. He goes in the bathroom, comes out. Next stall opens up. Same thing, same situation. So the next man who's behind me, I said, oh, you can go. And he said, I'm curious, what's going on? And I just said, the seat is not clean and the floor is not clean. I'm wearing pants. So my bottom of my pants will get saturated with pee. And now I'd have to clean the seat. And he's like, wow, I didn't even think about that. This is this younger guy. He goes, I didn't even think about that. And I said, yeah, I want a clean area when I go to the bathroom. So here's my point that I want to bring up with this, because I got this suggestion a lot for In the Wild about all gender. I'm just going to be blunt and straightforward. When a woman goes to the bathroom, most often, she sits down. Even if a woman is squatting over a toilet and say she's wearing pants. If there is mess all over the floor, she's got to roll up her pants, figure out a way. By also pulling down her pants, it becomes like a juggling act of what happens. When you go into a bathroom, you want to be able to go to the bathroom and just relieve yourself. But oftentimes, you go into a public restroom and it's dirty. And a lot of times it can be with an all-gender bathroom because you've got all different genders that are going in there. Okay. Be mindful. If you're going to the bathroom, male or female, and after you're done, the seat is not clean, please be mindful. clean the toilet after. Because somebody who comes in after you will need to clean it. They'll need to clean up after you. So whether it's somebody who is going to the bathroom or maybe it's the person that works there, be mindful. If you're finding that you're going all over the floor, now I know you don't want to clean that up either, but if it's your mess, I really recommend that you do clean it because it's showing kindness. It's showing how you know that somebody else is coming after you. And again, for women, okay, and men, if you're listening, women need a clean area in order to go to the bathroom. I know a lot of men would prefer a clean area as well, but they're not inhibited from going to the bathroom. A woman truly blocked from going to the bathroom, depending on what she's wearing or anything else. There needs to be a cleaning before they go to the bathroom. So, I know I didn't answer all the questions that came up. I am looking forward to, I have a couple of guests coming to chat with Dr. Kat, and I really think it would be a great topic to discuss with them. That we could talk about the all-gender bathrooms, but today I just wanted to talk about it from a place of common sense, common courtesy, being kind to others, be mindful. If you make a mess, clean it up. Clean it up. I remember I saw a couple of these signs that I've seen in bathrooms, and I remember in my office I used it, but I did it in the office area where people would go and have lunch, and it pretty much said, hey, just want to let you know, fairy godmother has taken the day off. Make sure you clean up after yourself. It was something really cute. There was something else about, if you tinkle when you sprinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seedy. So cute, so funny. But really what it comes down to is just be kind. Be mindful of other people. People come after you. It's the same thing with littering. And this will be my last in the wild. Sometimes we do see people that just completely litter. The question is, what do you do? Well, you never know what type of person that is littering. One of the suggestions that I have is you could say to somebody, hey, you dropped something. That could be it. Maybe not that it's your job, but you go and you pick it up. You just don't know how they're going to be. Maybe it's something as being kind of just saying, hey, I just want to let you know you littered and, we want our environment to be clean. Either way, be prepared that someone may not give you the response that you want. And if you're okay with that, because your main goal is to maybe pass on a message, bring awareness, then have at it. Just remember, communication is a two-way street. Oftentimes we feel that if we come with the best intentions, that it should be met with the best intentions and then responded with in the best intentions. We don't always get that. So I really recommend that if you want to say something, say it. Go for it. Just be mindful that you may not get the response you want, and that's okay. The fact that you wanted to step up and bring some awareness to our community and how clean it is, I think that's great. I think it's great. So when you're out there in the wild, there are things that we can say to people, whether they're the spitters or the ones who are, making a mess in the bathroom, or they're not sharing the elbow room, or whatever it is. You can say something, or you cannot. You can make it funny. You can make it serious. Just remember, a lot of times people play off of what your tone is. Be mindful of your tone. Go with kindness. See how it goes. This was In the Wild. Please keep sending them in. chatwithdrkat.com. I love hearing them. I love going through them. I love your comments. It's wonderful. And in the next month and a half, you're going to start seeing some interviews that I'm going to be having. If you're interested in being interviewed or just want to talk, let me know. I would love to have you here. chatwithdrkat.com. Put in your information. And again, remember, this is about creating change, creating real conversations, and talking about what goes on out there in our world, out there in the wild. Have a great day.